oh, that's your plan? You have a plan after this? He goes, yeah. I'm going to go, I fucking yelled at him. Like, fuck no, man. No way. If this doesn't fucking work for me, I have no other plan. Best sales. So quickly, we had about 1,000 of their websites, and they weren't very happy about it. You might get this toy. So we're going to give you a lot of discounts based on you signing up for a subscription model that can actually save you money.
Warning. This episode contains extremely strong language, including words deemed as slurs or offensive towards specific groups of people. Stay Classy Podcast does not necessarily endorse or condone any opinions, language, or beliefs expressed on this episode. Anything stated by the podcast guest pertaining to another individual, group of people, or organization of any type should not be interpreted as an official stance or belief of the Stay Classy Podcast, the podcast host, or any related organizational personnel.
So episode 87 of the Stay Classy podcast, here we go. I'm here with Ace Rogers, man of myth, the legend. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's a professional gambler. He's basically a winner at everything he does. But before we get to all the accolades, Ace, I just want to say thanks so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Awesome. So the first thing I actually wanted, the first thing I wanted to ask you about actually isn't business related really, but it's more about dogs actually, because you own quite a few dogs, I was led to understand. And I've met Aspen coming in. I just got a dog myself, an 11-week-old golden doodle. So I'm curious to know, like,
you have
obviously,
a golden doodle?
Yeah, golden doodle. Yeah.
You know, people who have golden doodles have no soul, right?
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, because you're shopping for a dog and not adopting a dog. So mostly when you have a golden doodle, it's to show other people you have a golden doodle. I have a 3-legged dog, so not that you don't have a soul. It's usually the women who don't have the soul, because it's on every reality show. Like, what kind of dog you have? A doodle. Like, we have a doodle in here. He's pretty cool. His name's Levi, and he's like a mini doodle, but like doodles are the whole new craze. And not that you don't have a soul, but you pretty much don't, because every like reality show in LA is like it's a doodle. And then when you see people who have doodles, people always go, look, it's a doodle, because it's like, when I hear anything too repetitive and there's a trend like that, there's a lot of dogs that need fucking homes. So like, if you're shopping for a fucking dog and paying more than fucking $60, I pretty much don't fucking like you. And I think you're probably shouldn't reproduce, because the fucking dogs are fucking reproducing and you don't fucking get that. So why is your fucking dumb ass fucking reproducing when there's a lot of dogs that are killed in fucking California every fucking day? We have the most fucking euthanized dogs of any fucking state in the fucking country, and you motherfuckers are fucking getting golden doodles. Fuck you. Go to the fucking shelter and get yourself a fucking 3-legged fucking dog that needs a fucking home, or fuck off and don't talk to me, because I don't fucking like you. But I like Steve. He's a great guy.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page with that, but I wanted to ask you, like, obviously we're going to get into some of the charity and philanthropy work you do for dogs, but specifically, I mean, obviously, like, I think it's safe to say everybody in this room loves dogs, but what about your dogs do you love so much? Like, tell us about your dogs. Like, I met Aspen. I know a little bit about Aspen, but just in general, like, what is it about your dogs and dogs in general that makes you so, passionate about doing the work you do for dogs?
Got 4 dogs in college, and my roommate had a dog, and his name was Boomer, and he had a great relationship with him. So I was like, I want that with a dog. So I got a dog. They called him Otif. It's Fido backwards, and he was a mutt, kind of like Aspen, and he had 4 legs. And then I loved it so much. I lived in an apartment complex, and they didn't allow big dogs. So it was small at the time. I go, yeah, this is as big as he gets. But then, 6 months later, they see that I have a big dog in my apartment, and now they're complaining at me.
Gotcha.
So my plan was, I'll get another puppy and just tell them, oh, no, I was walking my friend's dog, so I got another puppy, and then I showed them that one. I was like, look, see, my puppy's still the same size, because they don't remember what he looks like. So now I've got 2 fucking dogs living in this apartment complex, and then that happened 2 more times where they saw me walking another bigger dog 6 months later. So I ended up just getting 4 dogs and fooling the apartment complex that I had I just had 1 small dog, but I really had 4 big dogs in my apartment. And at that point, I really couldn't have any more than 4 dogs in my apartment, so I had to get a house.
Yeah, but you push it to the limit. I mean, you fooled them as much as you could, and then you're like, all right, buy them out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you on the subject of dogs, because I think this is going to tie into some of what we're talking about today and the business stuff. Mm-hmm. So you actually founded Aspens Dogghouse, and I know what that is, having done some research on it. But for people who don't know, tell us about Aspens Dogghouse, and specifically, like, the passion that went into it of not just like, I love my dogs, but I want to help these dogs that are in need, and I want to help people have the best quality of life possible for their dogs, and some of the unique benefits you guys provide.
Well, Aspens Dogghouse is a pet store for basically with high-end items for for people who want to treat their dog the best. So I have everything of high quality in life. So everything at Aspens Pet Store Dogghouse you can't get anywhere else. You can't get it at Petco. You can basically not only get it there, you can get it online, I'm sure. But we want the highest end equipment. We shop for the best toys. We're not like we have Kong toys. We're not trying to get cheap toys. We're trying to get the best leashes, the best food, the best everything. Because Aspen has a motto: every dog's a rich dog now, not just him. So it's a very high quality store, and it's been open for 6 months. It's doing really well, and now we're trying to build the online side as well. The domain name is aspens.com, so that's a killer domain name. I don't know how we got that, but
I'm surprised it's not taken. Like, isn't that like a ski resort or something?
Yeah, it's Aspen, Colorado, and like Aspen.com is owned by the Aspen Ski Club, and that ski club's probably worth $1 billion. So how I got Aspens.com? Well, we had to pay some money for it, but Aspen's like, let's get it, Dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and then if we also get another dog named Aspen, and we name him Aspen, we can use that domain too, because we'd have two Aspens. So it's like, look, Aspens. So we thought a lot about it.
So your dog Aspen, as we've said multiple times already, is a three-legged dog, and you have a deep passion to help not just your own dogs, but also other dogs with handicaps, disabled dogs, all over the place. Tell us a little bit about that and some of the charity work you're doing for disabled dogs.
All the dogs I have are like handy-capable. One of them has like a wire in his mouth because he was used as a bait dog. My dog Stanley just showed up at my door one day, and I opened up the door, and he just stayed. Rufus was on the streets for 4 years. He was a feral dog. He'd never been touched by a human being before, so it took a while for him to be able to pet him and him wag his tail. So, and Aspen, has 3 legs. His arm was tied up. He had to pull it off, and I was specifically looking for a 3-legged dog because I had already had another 3-legged dog at the time. His name was Jimmy. He just passed away a few months ago. So, yeah, Jimmy, it was time for Jimmy to go. Jimmy was rambunctious, and he was crazy. Jimmy, enough, Jimmy. I thought he'd calm down. He never calmed down for 14 years. Calm the hell down, Jimmy. But, now whatever puppy heaven there is, or dog heaven, pretty much the guy who's running that's pretty much fucking pissed off right now. Jimmy's fucking running that place ragged. Jimmy don't stop. Jimmy's all about the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to kind of wrap up that particular topic, I wanted to say, so Aspen's Dogghouse, you're running this business, for I think you said 6 months now. But now that you're, and this is kind of looking ahead, but now that you're, you've obviously made success in all of your other business ventures, is this sort of the beginning, would you say, of a time where you're really focusing not just on business pursuits, but on the connection between business and personal passions? Is that kind of is that the beginning of maybe you starting other philanthropic endeavors, other future, things to help dogs, or just other things that you're sort of personally passionate about in addition to the business stuff?
Yeah, I think, that's always going to continue. As I make money, I'll always keep doing things for dogs, other people, children, and I have a daughter, so I'll try to make the world a better place for, animals. I've got a couple ideas that I want to do. Right now, my main tool is just money and donating to a lot of local charities around here in San Diego, so that's huge for me. But, I want to get more hands-on, but it's such a, that's why I get so passionate about it. It's such a fucked up fucking world that you live in. It's there's a lot of horror stories out there. We're really close to TJ, so I'm pretty sure Aspen might. I don't know if he's some of my dogs from Mexico. I don't know who. They don't really speak Spanish, so I can't fucking tell. So I want to do as much as I can because we're in a region where we have a lot of dogs that need homes. So I do my part with money and adopting as many as I can, helping as many as I can, but there's so many stories that almost nobody can handle the problem. So I want to do my part. As we grow money, I want kind of Aspen's legacy to be like how many dogs he's helped and kind of do it in his name.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So just turning the page a bit, so we've talked about the business ventures, but we haven't really gone into depth on that. So Doctor Multimedia is a company that you founded. When exactly? What year? Do you remember?
I always forget dates, but this is probably about 10 years ago we founded it.
Okay, awesome. And you guys, basically what you do, and interrupt me if I'm butchering it, but basically what you guys do, from my understanding, is that you provide doctors, people who are looking to start their own practice, with the skills, the business acumen, and the know-how to essentially run their own practice, because when they come out of med school, when they get their degree, they often don't really have the business skills necessary to actually run a successful practice. They're just kind of left out to dry. So what you guys do is you step in, you kind of provide them with the education, the resources, the training, point them in the right direction to set them up for a successful practice. So I wanted to ask you, first of all, how and when did you discover that there was a specific need I guess, in the market for this kind of service? Was it just come to you one day? Did you come up in a brainstorm session with some buddies, or like how? Enjoying this episode? Subscribe for more content on finding your own path to success. Every subscriber makes a huge difference to the pod, and we're grateful for everyone. And don't forget to throw us a classy like and comment too to let YouTube know that you're a fan of our stuff. Now back to your regularly scheduled podcasting. How did this come together?
A funny story. I was one of my really good friends, besides my business partner, was at my house, and at the time I was dealing a shit ton of weed. But I was online a lot and doing a lot of things, marketing online and building some websites, mainly an Arizona basketball website. So I really couldn't meet a lot of people. So what I was doing, because I was selling so much fucking weed, you can't really meet people because you think everyone's a cop. So I'm inside all the time, growing a bunch of weed, selling a bunch of weed, and I'm online all the time. And I'm running this website. So I was a big Arizona basketball fan at the time, so I was pumping money into this website, not realizing I was learning all the skills of digital marketing, whether it was creating content, social media, doing videos, taking pictures, putting up a website, doing SEO, doing the pay-per-click ads, running all the social media, running the Twitter, running the Instagram. Then you're now running making it, I monetized it, so it was called pointguardu.com. And one day I'm with my buddy, and he's a veterinarian, and he sees me, I'm doing this website, and he knows I'm a fucking pretty big time drug dealer and gambler. So I tell him, he asks me, hey, you want to do my website? I go, no, I don't want to do your website. It's boring. It's a freaking, it's a veterinary website. So I sat there for an hour, and I'm thinking, your website's a static website. It stays the same all the time. I wouldn't want to do that. It's just I do it once and I give it to you and see you later. So what I told them, what we could do, you could make it like Point Guard U, where it was a content website where we're doing articles on what dogs need in the area, what happens summer pet health tips in Las Vegas. What's your staff doing? What tips do you have? If someone getting married in the staff or having a kid, let's put it on your blog, on your website. Yep. Let's put it on the front page. So I kind of want, it's like, this could be like a mini CNN for it, but you're a vet hospital. So this is kind of your news, just like Point Guard U was Arizona basketball news. This could be your news at Ann Road Animal Hospital. So I took them from 2.8, and I was running a bunch of specials for them and grabbing people through, getting people through the door, putting like things on Groupon. All of a sudden I see like there's 2,000 freaking people that bought this special on Groupon. And I realized like how much power I had now over getting people into veterinary practices, well, at least his. And we took him from 2.8 to 4.2 million in a year. And once I did that, I'm like, okay, I have a skill. Now I'm not doing this just for one person. So I emailed a guy in town who had like 20 vet hospitals and a lot of other vets. And I told him, you got no one like me. I'm going to take your customers out of your practice. Look at this Groupon. Look how many people have signed up. And there are 2,000 people that will not be going into your clinic. So that really got them all kind of riled up, and they started emailing me back. I took a couple business meetings, and I met a guy with 20 practices. He gave me 10 of them in Las Vegas, and now I knew I couldn't sell veterinary websites and veterinary marketing, digital marketing in Las Vegas, because I have like 10 of the 20 of his practices, and I'm not going to go sell someone else who has one or two practices, because I got the biggest guy in town. I'm not going against him. Right. So I started going to different medical conferences, veterinary conferences, and start selling the websites in different cities, because he couldn't be mad about that I'm promoting a veterinary hospital in Cleveland. He could never be mad at that. So I started selling them myself. I sold the first 40 websites and the digital marketing packages myself. And then I hired the number one salesman from a veterinary marketing company, and he sold like 200 websites. I hired his best friend, and he's still with us. He sold another couple hundred websites. Next thing I know, I got 500 digital marketing packages and running 500 different social medias and blogging and content and videos and pictures for 500 veterinarians. I ended up getting 3,000 of the possible 8,000 veterinarians in this country, and I totally realized, I see my ceiling in front of me, because I have 3,000 of an 8,000 market. Yeah. You're pretty much, man, you're not going to get more than that in most markets. You can get 30% of the shoe industry. Holy shit. I'm a little more almost at that point, because 3,000 of 8,000. So I broke it up. I decided to transfer into other verticals of medicine. So we started doing chiropractors, dentists, and you name it, orthodontists, all the 9 verticals of dentistry, and pediatricians, podiatrists, psychologists, plastic surgeons. Now all of a sudden I've opened up our possible client base to 400,000 to 500,000 medical practices. And now we currently have 15,000 private practice doctors paying us every fucking month.
That's amazing. So not to sidestep what you just said, but just to give people some context, when I was looking at some of the other podcasts you've done, you talked a little bit about, the fact that you came from, correct me if I'm wrong, like a family and sort of like an extended circle of people, like many doctors, and your family and your extended friends. And the reason I bring that up is because you're also, I believe, a pre-med major in undergrad. Is that right? Mm-hmm. So you kind of had this context of you were surrounded by people who were in the medical field already. But what I'm kind of hearing, correct me if I'm wrong, is that you saw the need for for these people who had the medical brains, the know-how to actually have the business skills, and as we talked about before, the know-how to run their own websites, to actually run their own practices effectively. So that's kind of like, so what was the impact early on from like family, from friends? Like how did that sort of shape your thoughts in this matter and sort of the direction that you took the business?
Just being Indian, you grow up around a lot of doctors. Yeah. And my business partner, he happened to be Indian. I met him online, but I met him like he's Indian too. His father's a doctor. So you grow up around a lot of doctors. So you understand the industry probably better than most people. And that was like, became pre-med, but then I ended up doing pre-law and got my law degree. But I understood it. And, I had a love for dogs more or less. And so I transferred that over to like the veterinary field, but it's also medical as well. So I had a good base of understanding the medical field early from just growing up in central New York with so many doctors. I've never waited for a doctor. I just go right to the back and they take care of me. I don't have to sit in the waiting room. So that was really nice part of growing up, and understanding the base of the industry, and then learning so much about digital marketing online for that Arizona basketball website. There's no money in that Arizona basketball website, but there's a shit ton of money in the medical industry. So taking on that industry with digital marketing was just a natural connection for me.
Sure. So were there some challenges that you and your associates faced early on when developing this business model? I mean, it sounds like that there wasn't a lot, if anybody else, who was doing something like this at the time. And I don't know if there still is. So my question is just what were the challenges that you faced with sort of the unique nature of this business model? And how did you overcome that?
There were a couple companies doing it. There was one a lot bigger than ours. It was called imatrix.com. Okay. And I took two of their best salesmen. So quickly we had about 1,000 of their websites, and they weren't very happy about it. They sued me. Basically they were dream killers. So and a lot of times when you start up a business, you will get sued by someone who's bigger than you if you're really making a splash in their market and in their niche. So iMatrix didn't like it. They sued us. They had their own legal team. This is the first time I've really had to hire a lawyer, and now you're getting $50,000 bills a month. That fucking sucks. Yeah, so they're just trying to crush us. Now I do that to other people. If you mess with my business, I sue you really quick just so you get a $50,000 bill. It's really funny how that came full circle. Yeah. So, I hated it then. Now I'm like, hey, if you leave my company and you start the same company, I sue you. And it's really good. And just stay away from my clients or I'll sue you.
Sure.
I'll sue you for any reason, as we know. So, but definitely don't fuck with me because you can do that. It's great, but those $50,000 bills fucking suck. But now Doctor Multimedia has lawyers on staff. So it's fucking funny how I built a company like that, took on iMatrix. They didn't end up, stopping us from doing what we were going to do, and now we're kind of them, but they were funded. My company is completely self-funded, which is very rare to have a company of this size that has no debt, no investors, no board of directors. It's basically, if I want to do it, I fucking do it. I don't have to ask anybody. If we want to buy a yacht, we buy it. We want to buy a Rolls Royce, we buy it. We want to buy 4 more cars that week, we buy it. I asked my business partner, do you think this is a good idea? I go, hey, he goes, do you want it? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, if you want it, you should get it. Like, sweet. Yeah. So, I just go buy it.
Yeah, that kind of self-sustaining model, I mean, it's almost unheard of. At least I haven't really heard of it. So a couple specific questions about, if you're willing to share, some of the resources you provide to doctors. So is there, do you guys talk to doctors, people who are looking to start their own practices? You sort of talk to them about, the advertising that they should or shouldn't be doing and, maybe things that they're not going to learn, alternate investment streams that maybe older physicians don't take advantage of. Do you guys kind of teach them those alternate strategies and have them looking in those other places, or how do you approach it?
Right now we're not hands off, but we have several packages. The higher up ones will get you on the phone with my business partner, where he's got the knowledge of 15,000 practices. So if you talk to him, he knows exactly what you do. You should do. If you're a doctor in, let's say, wherever, let's say in freaking Phoenix, and you're doing a med spa, well, we have 100 or 200 med spas. We have some of the most successful med spas in the country. So we know exactly what you should do. So that's just a huge advantage that we have that no one else has. So at the higher up packages, we will kind of teach you and show you and give you some of the information that you wouldn't be able to get like on our $99 package. But over the next few months, we're developing a program to kind of just coach doctors. Coaching is pretty huge on the internet right now. So what I want to do, and a lot of it's niche, right? There's a lot of mindset, there's a lot of fitness coaching, there's a lot of entrepreneur coaching, there's a lot of business coaching. There's a lot of different types of coaching. I mean, almost anything you want, you can find online and get coached for. So we already have $15,000. What better way to start coaching them, because we already have the clientels. So we're going to start coaching them on what they should be doing for their practice. Why? Because we have the knowledge of 15,000 practices, not only in your vertical, but a lot of other medical verticals, which we can apply over you. Like, a lot of doctors think like, oh, I don't want to run specials. I don't want to seem cheap. I'm like, yeah, that's BS. You trying to make money or not? Because, we can run, call them offers, man. Every business should have an offer.
Yeah.
So we can kind of teach them that, and they don't come with that. They don't teach that in medical school, in any of their medical schools.
Sure.
So, running a business and being a doctor are two different things. I have, the knowledge of, being on the doctor side and the knowledge of being an entrepreneur. So you bring that together, it's like, are you a doctor or are you a businessman?
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so doctors don't really make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no doctor in this country that makes more than me, for the most part. If you want to mention Dr. Phil, go right fucking ahead, but that's just because you're a hater and you want to bring up the exception to the fucking rule, because Dr. Phil probably makes more money than me, and he fucking obviously fucking does. But go fuck yourself. I pretty much make more money than any doctor, but when I was growing up, all the doctors were making money, and like, you wanted to be a doctor. Now doctors, that's, if you want to go in that profession, you really have to learn how to be a businessman. So having that knowledge, it's like, do you want to be a doctor? Because that doesn't make any money. But being a practice owner, we have practice owners that own 16 practices, but they started out a doctor. So now they're a businessman, they're a practice owner, and there's a big difference between a fucking businessman, a practice owner, and a fucking doctor.
Hey there, classy viewers. Thanks for listening to our podcast. We're dedicated to providing you with quality content that inspires and brightens your day. But keeping it classy can be expensive. If you enjoy our content, we're asking for your support for the podcast using the donation link in the description below. Donations mean the world to us, and even as little as $5 can make a huge difference in helping us make this podcast a reality. Plus, donors are added to our shortlist to be the first to receive exclusive offers on merch, extra content, and even chances to appear on the pod. Anything you can give would truly be appreciated. Now get back to enjoying the rest of the podcast, and as always, stay classy. Actually, a specific question while I was thinking about it was like, I have an acquaintance who is a doctor, and recently he was telling me about some of the difficulties that that friends of his who were also doctors were having about keeping overhead costs under control when you have to share the value and spread it with other partners. And I was just curious, like, are those the kinds of like questions that people come to you with, and like, how do you like address those kinds of issues?
Yeah, so he has a partner?
So I believe as an associate of it who had his own practice with partners, and there was some issues with the overhead costs. But I was just curious, is that like the kind of thing you guys would like coach them and like, okay, here's how you like, maximize profit while you're like distributing those overhead costs like equitably? Yeah,
absolutely. We'll coach them and guide them on that as well. And it gets complicated when you do have partners and this and that, because now you got a lot of cooks in the kitchen. So
okay.
Learning how to pitch it to your partner and all of you getting along is something we can definitely help them with.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and what was the website again for you guys exactly? It was
drmultimedia.com.
Okay, yeah. Check it out, people. Absolutely, there's a lot of great resources there. I looked at it myself. And under that topic, well, actually, for time's sake, I wanted to also touch on the some of the other hats that you wear, which is, you run all these different businesses, but you also have this history of successful, and that's understating it, like professional gambling, which we haven't really talked about at all yet. So real quickly, like, well, I'll let you tell the story, but just real quickly, I wanted to say that like you talked on one of the podcasts, I think it was the New Legacy podcast, if I'm not mistaken, about how you were so successful in gambling at these different casinos that you actually pushed some of them to change their rules and procedures and that sort of thing. You also talked about how you actually left. You were supposed to take the bar exam, then you left to pursue your career in gambling in Las Vegas. Right. So without me saying any more, just like tell us a little bit of the story of that and just some of the downs and ups of that gambling career.
Been gambling since I was fucking 13 years old. I had bookies coming to my house, collecting from my parents, fucking, shaking them down for fucking money because, well, I fucking lost all the money and I didn't have the money to pay them. But I was 13 years old. You're 40 years old. What are you fucking doing at my house, you fucking weirdo? But, I Sorry about that, Mark. I should have probably paid you, but I was 13. So I just kept gambling, and next thing you know, I went to University of Arizona. I was still gambling. I'd go to Nogales, drive down there to place my bets because you couldn't sports bet at that time, like in Tucson. I placed my bets there. I just learned how to do it really, really well. I've learned how to beat the game of blackjack. Like, there's no casino I can't beat. That's just a fact. If I go into casino, I can fucking beat it. It's that simple. I have the game of blackjack figured out. I have my own strategy, my own system. I need to put it in a fucking book one day, or a small pamphlet, because I can teach 80% of what I know gambling, but it's different than what the card says or what the book says. Became really good at it, and when we started this business, we started making millions of dollars a year. I told my business partner, I think it's time for me now to stop gambling because we're making legitimate money, and sometimes I lose here and there. And he goes, I thought it'd be different. I thought you'd start gambling more. And that's when I said, and he's a very wise guy, and he's also someone who would never gamble. So when someone who says you shouldn't gamble or doesn't gamble says you should gamble, you're like, okay, I'm going to listen to him. So, and I was right. I was making money. So from that point on, I've always just started betting bigger and bigger. Now I bet millions a month, and it was all because he didn't stop me from gambling, because I'm like, well, we don't need the risk anymore. But I probably would have continued. But once he said that, I realized, why not? See how high I can get us gambling. And that's where the money to fund Doctor Multimedia came from. It started with, the point guard it's a bunch of weed, but then it transitioned to after I got busted selling a shit ton of weed, I was gambling, and then started Doctor Multimedia. And the gambling kept working. So the gambling is what's funded our company, which it's kind of hard to believe. I've talked to attorneys. They go, it's very rare to have a company that's fully self-funded by one person. So I just kept gambling, and I kept winning. I put the money into this company. I explain it like this: the gambling's a one-time win. So you get your money once. Dr. Multimedia, when I put the money into Dr. Multimedia, I get recurring revenue. So when I gamble, I get a big chunk of money, and then I throw it into a business that's recurring revenue, and it grows the recurring revenue higher. Then I take that, and I place my bets, and I make my bets bigger. So now this pile gets bigger, the one-time money gets bigger. I take that one-time money again, which is now bigger, and I put it over here. Now it gets the recurring revenue pile higher. So now I'm not as dependent on this anymore, because I've built the recurring revenue so high where I always say, if I don't make millions of dollars a month gambling, I'm going to make millions of dollars a month anyway through Dr. Multimedia. So whether I make 4 or 5 million a month, or whether I make 7 or 8 million a month, I'm going to be making that every month no matter what, because I built the one-time pile so high, and I kept putting it into a recurring revenue pile. And that's kind of something I would definitely recommend to people. I explained this before. You want your hustle that makes your money one time, and you want to put it into some sort of recurring revenue model where people or customers are paying you every month. For example, at Aspens Dogghouse, we have a subscription model. You can 3 different packages, and if you sign up for one of those, you get a lot more benefits at Aspens Dogghouse. You might get 20% off products for the year. You might get this many free groomings. You get this much off grooming. You might get you might get this toy. So we're going to give you a lot of discounts based on you signing up for a subscription model that can actually save you money. So if you're going to come and you're going to be buying your dog food here anyway, why don't you sign up for this plan where now you get your dog food for cheaper, because you're going to need it anyway. So even I've taken a retail model like Aspens Dogghouse, and I put in my recurring revenue model, because what's the food and selling the toys and the leashes? That's the one-time money. What am I going to do? Put that into the recurring revenue model of Aspens. Take that recurring revenue model, grow the product side, get it more online, where I'm making more one-time money online. I'm going to take that online money, I'm going to put it more into a recurring revenue model that's going to be in the store, and then I'll take the recurring revenue model and I'll put it online. So then there's the plan to how I would take that business, and I would make it from one-time money to recurring revenue. And that's the way I look at a business. Like I could never sell houses, because I make my money one time and I got to sell a fucking house. The way I'm going to sell a house is like, I'm getting 1% of that fucking mortgage payment every month. So every time I'm going to figure out a way to do that. Okay. So if I sell your house, I'm getting 1% of something every fucking year you own that fucking house. Is the way I'm going to do it. So I don't know how Asians should do that, but you're going to have to sell another house. But if I'm getting 1% of a fucking mortgage for fucking 5 to 10 to fucking 20 to 30 years, every house I sell, I'm going to make money one time off it, but then I'm going to take that and I'm going to make something recurring off of it. And that's like a vision I don't see a lot of people having.
Sure.
Remember when Microsoft Word, you could just buy Microsoft Word. And that was it. You owned Microsoft Word. You never had to buy Microsoft Word again. People only use the fucking underline, bold, basically, different fonts. No one gets so fucking deep into Microsoft Word or using their 1,000 fucking features. Nobody's fucking doing that, right? So they figured out then, all right, we're going to charge you every year if you want to license Microsoft Word or Adobe or anything now, or Photoshop.
Yeah.
It's now a yearly thing. Before, you could just buy fucking Photoshop.
And that's it, yeah.
That's it. Here, I own Photoshop. You take it on, you put it on your laptop, and you owned it. And then they realized this is fucking stupid. And I've always wondered, like, what are you guys, fucking stupid? Why would you sell anything one fucking time? License it. Now you can't. Now it's software. Okay, now it's SaaS. It's software. So now you're buying software and you're licensing the software from them every year. Why would you sell a one-time fucking product?
Sure. Perpetual value.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I always, when I look at a business, that's how I dissect it and I analyze it. How can we sell things to the general public, to business owners, but then also how do we make recurring revenue off our clients?
I love that blueprint, and whoever's editing this podcast, please cut that clip out because we're definitely going to need it. So one more thing on that note, I just wanted to say, like, the traits and characteristics that you developed while you were gambling over the time that you did, like, I'm just curious, like, what were you sort of doing differently, and sort of how did you develop those traits? What were the traits that you developed differently from sort of just not only the average person, but even other successful gamblers who never reached that level of success? Because I think that's applicable to other areas of business as well.
It's completely fucking applicable. Some of the best fucking businessmen are gamblers and drug dealers. To make no mistake about it. Now, when I wanted to become a professional gambler, I knew, there was a guy named Stu Unger who had a fucking serious drug problem, but a very great fucking poker player. Died in a fucking hotel room, overdosed on fucking drugs. So there's something, about gamblers.
Yeah.
We have no need. The true ones have no need for self-preservation. So most people are like, I want to start gambling. I want to be a professional gambler. The moment you lose all your money, what do? You go get a fucking job. So when I made the decision to become a professional gambler, I took the need for self-preservation out the fucking window. Basically meaning, if this doesn't fucking work, in my head, I thought, I will fucking kill myself. Do I ever think I thought I would really kill myself? No, not really. No, but if it got so fucking bad, no one asked me to be here, no one can tell me to fucking leave. Not trying to say people, I think suicide's a horrible fucking thing. No one should do that. This was just completely for mindset. Probably was never going to happen, but in my mind, like, I couldn't have a plan B. Like everyone else, I lose my money gambling, I'm getting a job. I'm going fucking homeless. I'm going to have 5 leashes. I'm going to beg for fucking money. I'm going to bet it again. But there's no way I'm going to get a fucking job. I'll steal shit. I'll do whatever I fucking got to do for my next bet to be a professional gambler. So it taught me I had no need for fucking self-preservation. That was a big thing I learned from that, and I had just no fear of risk. And that's what's different, why casinos are scared of me, because I have no fear of risk. They have to mitigate risk. They don't want you placing a fucking $1 million fucking bet. If everyone else just placed $100,000 on a game, total, right, and who bet, say, on the Milwaukee Bucks and the Lakers, and I come in and I bet $1 million, they don't want the $1 million bet because it's not going to balance it out. So I'm kind of quality control. So when I go into casino, I'm looking like for shitty dealers, shitty chip counts. I'm counting the cards, and that's why I'm always wearing glasses, so you can't see that I'm really looking to my right now. So I'm just counting the cards over there, and I'm looking at this table. So you really can't tell. The pit boss can't see that I'm staring at the table to the right of me. And that's kind of why I have this table here. I'm always like practicing and looking at this table from different angles. Where if I'm in a casino, you can't tell what I'm looking at this table, because if they just see you looking over it, they're gonna know that you're a professional. You're there to fucking take their money, and they're gonna kick you out.
Yeah. I'm just a genuine curiosity while you were talking is, like, you said no fear of risk, and you said in a previous podcast episode something that stood out to me. You said risk is everything, and I was thinking about that. I was playing that over in my mind this morning. I was thinking, like, is it sort of that mentality that for a business venture, for any entrepreneurship to truly succeed, to some degree you have to sort of put your back up against the wall in order to sort of give yourself the mentality it takes, as opposed to starting with a cushion?
There's no plan B. There's no fucking plan B. I remember when I started this shit, and I asked my business partner, one of them, I said, you think this is going to be successful? And he goes, I don't know, maybe. And I go, fuck yeah, it's going to be successful. You know why? Because I'm behind it. It's 100% going to be successful. I fucking guarantee it will be. Guarantee it. What do you mean you think so?
Yeah.
And obviously years later, he said, yeah, you were right on that one. My other business partner, who's his brother, he said, I go, what are you going to do if this doesn't work out? He goes, oh, I'm going to go to business school. I'm like, oh, that's your plan? You have a plan after this? He goes, yeah. I'm going to go, I fucking yelled at him, like, fuck no, man. No way. If this doesn't fucking work for me, I have no other plan. This has to fucking work. I'm going homeless. I just got fucking busted fucking dealing fucking weed by fucking 6 agencies. Right? And luckily, it was fucking nothing, 90 days fucking probation, because I wasn't doing 2 felonies at once.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is it. This is it for me. This is all I got. Gambling pays here and there, but I'm also like, sometimes it doesn't, and like, well, I need something else. Right? That's kind of what the drug dealing was, or the selling the weed was to my gambling. I like something else, some sort of street or legitimate hustle on the side while I'm gambling, because you never know when gambling won't pay you. Like, fuck, I need fucking money, and well, I'm on a fucking bad streak. I make way more than I lose in gambling. I win way more than I lose. But every now and then you can go in a fucking rut, and you don't know how long it'll last. So it's good to have another fucking hustle when you're gambling that can support your gambling if you're really trying to be a professional gambler. And we're going into a fucking era where people are going to gamble more for investments than they are going to put their money into investments. There's no fucking better investment than gambling. And I recommend people don't gamble. That's always kind of been my thing. But this is just a new era and a new generation of making money. And people want to make money fucking fast. And the advantage of fucking gambling is you can bet big and you know where you stand almost right away. So I always tell people by 9 p.m. every day, if I bet on a game, I know where I stand. If you put your money into a fucking stock, it's stuck there, you can't do anything with it, you can't control it, and you sit there and you wait. And then you just look at it every day. And you know how you're supposed to invest in stocks? You put your money in there and you check it 10 years fucking later. All this day trading bullshit, I'm not trying to do that every fucking day. So, but people are doing that, day trading. They're trying to flip homes. They're trying to make money as fast as possible. Well, I take all the time out of it with gambling, because with cards and sports or horse races, 1 minute and 40 seconds, in 1 minute and 45 seconds, I know where I stand on my investment.
Yeah.
On my fucking investment. And I can bet as much as I want on any fucking horse. Like, there's no limit. You can go play poker and get in the biggest games, because the house doesn't care if you play pokers with millionaires. They get a percentage of the rake. You can bet blackjack very big. You can find houses that will take big fucking bets in Vegas. The biggest houses are in the MGM right now, Caesars, Circa, and the Westgate. So those are the 4 biggest places that will take the biggest bets. And if one of them only takes so much of my money, I just go to the next one, and I'll just go there and I'll fucking bet more on that one. But now I can put this much money on a game, and by 7 p.m. I know whether my investment worked or it didn't. And there's no more, what's more important, time or money? We all know it's fucking time. So I can get more money, but I can't get more time. So knowing, so I don't really have money in stocks and shit like that. Like, why would I? I'm not going to wait for that. I can just put that money on a game tonight and double it, or triple, or even 6 times the money on things like NASCAR. Yeah. So between blackjack and sports and horses, I can make money so fucking fast. And, even digital marketing, Doctor Multimedia, we make money faster than any other company. Like, CBRE might be $1 billion company, but those guys don't really drive nice cars or anything. I know I'm making faster money than them through digital marketing, because every month we have 15,000 doctors paying us monthly. Yeah. Just boom. So the why I'm so successful, one of the reasons is I have no fear of risk, but my business model, my fucking business model is better, because I thought about my business well before I've lost my fortune a few times. So I thought about what business wouldn't go under. Recurring revenue, service-based in the medical industry. COVID hit, I just fucking offered telemedicine to my fucking $12,000 12,000 fucking doctors. We put a button on their website where people could click it, and we found a company called Doxy.me, and we used them to put that button on their website, and we just charged them every month like Doxy was charging us every month. Yeah. And all of a sudden, we're like, holy shit, we got 3,000 or 4,000 doctors. COVID came, and now we're making more money. We got $4,000 doctors who we already charge every month, paying us more right away. Now do that multiplier. Fucking COVID hits, I'm like, fuck yes. Yeah. Because my business is in the medical industry, and people are always going to get fucking sick. Yeah. So there's no trend here. There's no like, oh shit, this is a trend. Oh, we're not making money anymore.
Still need you.
Yeah, you still need a doctor. You're always going to need a doctor in this country, and you meet them more and more ever because, of our healthcare system. So it's just a great business model, service-based, recurring revenue in the medical field. Hard to go fucking bankrupt doing that.
Did you subscribe yet? If you like our content, it's the easiest way to support the pod. Hit the subscribe button on the bottom right and keep it classy. Well, what I love about everything you just said is that you acknowledge that, like, obviously, like, you're extremely good at gambling, but you also acknowledge that not everyone is, but your model still works, even if it's not in gambling. The reoccurring revenue model that you outlaid just now, it still works regardless of whether the source is gambling or not. So I really like that. But one thing I wanted to ask you before we move on is just and you've talked about it a little bit, I think, in the other podcasts, but just, I'm curious to know if there was something that happened in your past, maybe like, or a series of experiences, something that sort of shaped you. Everybody, I feel like every great entrepreneur like has some kind of either chip on their shoulder or just very strong source of fuel of motivation. So I'm curious to know, like, for you in the past, like what that looked like and how that's evolved over time as well.
Yeah, I didn't grow up in money, and like I said, being surrounded by so many doctors, we were kind of like the middle or lower class of those families, and I'd always learn about everything that was luxury related through a friend of mine's dad who was a doctor. But it was never like through my family because, we didn't have nice cars or nice anything, and they did. So I kind of had a chip on my shoulder kind of to be the most successful dude from my high school class. I wanted to be the most successful. I knew I was the smartest, but then I ended up getting kicked out of high school. So, well, if I would have graduated in that class, I'm still the most successful person that would have graduated in that class. But that's what kind of started it. I had that chip on my shoulder. And then for some reason, I just had a very rebellious nature. So, I got kicked out of fucking junior high. I got kicked out of private school. I got kicked out of high school. I got kicked out of my house. And then I fucking went to U of A. I didn't get kicked out of there, thank God. But, I have a history of getting kicked out of places because I don't really like to follow rules. So I think that's the first fucking rule. Break all the rules for most entrepreneurs. We can't be put in a box. Most of us don't want to fucking graduate fucking college. It's just, college makes good employees. And you just find anyone can make money by themselves. You don't need someone to do it. You just have to have a good business model, and you have to have no fear of risk. Sure. So it kind of shaped me just, not having money, and then couldn't be put into a box, and didn't like the rules of the fucking game and being a student, and it just wasn't for me. So I think you find that with a lot of entrepreneurs, especially Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, that just like we know we're smarter than the system. We're not going to be told to do things by someone who hasn't done anything. So, you take all that and you get where I am.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like sort of the rebellious nature that you started with, like, has carried you over, and that you still have the mindset of, like, breaking the rules, still innovating, still finding ways, like with the Aspens Dogghouse, with the other business ventures. Like, you're still always thinking, like, I can do more. I can, like, push myself a little further. So if it's all right with you, I don't know what we're doing on time, but if you have time for a few more questions, or
yeah, absolutely, okay. Anytime.
So one thing I wanted to ask you about is the yacht. Now, the yacht, I see a lot on your Instagram, and for those who don't know, it's a $4.5 million Lamborghini yacht. I believe it's either the only one in America, or there's like maybe one other one. But
the other one fucking sucks. It was never custom spec'd. It was for some guy who defaulted on it in fucking Europe, so they just shipped it over to fucking Miami. So yeah, there's one in Miami. No, all I ever see is fucking people like flexing on it, Rick Ross and everybody, and it's like, and then people are like, ooh, Rick Ross bought a Lamborghini yacht. No, he fucking didn't. He went on one and took some fucking video, you morons. He doesn't have a Lamborghini yacht. And then everyone just flexes on it, and I don't even think it's for sale. It was like $3 million because it wasn't spec'd out. Mine's completely spec'd out. I went to Italy to go design it. So technically I have the first custom spec'd Lamborghini yacht in the country, but that doesn't really fucking matter. No one else has one, so.
So the reason I bring it up is, like, I'm looking at, like, just the office we're in today. I'm looking at everything that I know about you, and it seems like there's an attitude that goes into the culture of leadership that you bring to your companies, which is, I walk in here and everyone seems like cheery, upbeat. You have a lit office. It's very aesthetically pleasing. There's kind of an upbeat vibe. As I told someone before we started recording today, it seems like a 2024 office. Whenever that seems like very, like, state of the art, up to date. And I just didn't really feel that way ever at, honestly, any of my other corporate jobs and offices. So
horrible.
I'm curious, like, with the yacht and everything else, is that all sort of like intentionally to sort of embody this attitude that like sets what you do apart from, like, other business cultures and other forms of leadership?
A little bit. I think people don't like to say money doesn't buy happiness. That's bullshit. Only broke people say shit like that. Money does buy happiness, but one thing no one disagrees with me on when I say it this way: quality of life is everything. If you say that, a broke person will be like, Yeah, I agree. Quality of life is everything. Because I've rephrased it where, like, that really is just money buys happiness, more or less. But quality of life is everything. So coming into this office, we're in the mall. You know, we pay higher rent than most companies do. I had an office over there, it's a AAA building over there, where the U.S. Bank building is. It's one of the nicest buildings in town, but it fucking sucks because it's like any corporate office. It's got cubicles, the fucking carpet. You know that fucking carpet, that shitty fucking carpet. I mean, it's just, you got to deal with other fucking plebs who work there, and they're making like 80 to 140 grand a year, and they think like that's money, and they don't realize like my dog makes that in like fucking 15 minutes. So it's like you have to listen to these people, and it's just horrible, the office culture, and then the way you're treated, and just offices suck. They just drain your soul. So when I came in here, I was like, I wanted an office that was unlike anyone else's. And my real estate agent, luckily, he got my personality, and he showed me this place, and I'm just like, 60 fucking thousand a month and all the other expenses. This shit's gonna cost me 100 grand a month for this fucking office. Like, I can get an office for 14 grand a month. So I just said, nah, I can't. And I walk out, and one of my sales guys is with me, and I go, we can't afford it. And then he fucking throws one of my lines back in my face, and he goes, you know what you say when you can't afford it. I'm like, fuck. When people say I can't afford it, that just means you don't make fucking enough money. So when he goes, you can't afford it, he goes, you know what you say? I go, fuck, that means I don't make enough money. So I just signed the fucking deal right there. Because he fucking threw it in my face. Like, yep, you're right, I don't make enough money. But I couldn't afford it. But I made sure I could afford it. Because I fucking signed it right away. And he threw that line right in my face. Because I'm like, 14 grand to 60 grand a month, plus it's going to be 100 for all the other shit in here a month minimum. Like, what the fuck? Why would I go from 14 grand to 100 grand a month? Like, we couldn't afford it. But I made sure we could afford it because I just bet more. Yeah. Till we made more. So I've always been like that. Just fucking throw myself into the fire, and I'll get myself fucking out. So the quality of life is everything. People here, like I'll say, I go to valet park. I don't have to no one here pays for parking. They have 8 choices of coffee, 200 places to eat. They can bank. They can go to a movie. They can do yoga. They can go to the gym. They can go outside. You get your vitamin D here. You're outside in a mall in San Diego. There's literally no better place to work. We have droves of people who want to work at Doctor Multimedia. It's very hard to get in. We're a bunch of elite performers. We're A players, and quite frankly, most of the people are B or C players, so they never even get an interview. So you have to be a very high level, well together person to get a job here. So quality of life is everything. I want the nicest yacht. I want the fucking nicest cars. Like, most people say comparison is the thief of all joy. Don't compare yourself to people. That's because you're just a pussy. You should compare yourself to other people. Competition is fucking part of life. Do you know any Sumerians or Mayans? Me fucking neither. Because guess why? They didn't fucking compete. The Roman fucking Empire fucking collapsed, motherfucker. You better fucking compete in life. So you should compare yourself to other people and other societies, other civilizations. Because next thing you know, you're obsolete. And you want that for your fucking bloodline, motherfucker? You better be careful, bro. You might want to have some fucking kids and shit. So your bloodline keeps. I don't know why people don't want to have children. Like, that means, like, that's it. That's for you. If you don't think this DNA should reproduce like that, people. Let me know if anyone wants any of it. The shit is fucking dope, and you can't get this in your regular Home Depot. The shit I got. So you definitely want some of this fucking shit. My brain cells are fucking dope. If I can get some out of there, I'll sell them to you. But it's gonna be fucking costly, motherfucker. Because I've got a girl, so I can't really. But I can jerk off in a cup. But you're gonna have to pay me a lot of fucking money to get some of this shit. Because it's fucking dope. But you want to compete in life. You want to know that you're not going to beat me. Sure. You're going to fucking beat me? Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, good fucking luck. No, but life is competition. Trust me. When people say comparison is the thief of all joy, bullshit. You want it? I want a nicer one than you. If you got a hot chick, I want a hot chick. You know what I mean? And that's why I got a hot chick. I hate going somewhere and seeing, man, that guy's got a hotter chick than me. That shit fucking sucks. I'm like, yeah, my shit's dope. So I'm like, fucking great. I got a hot ass fucking chick. Once it's at 10 level, it's like it's 10 on 10. There are different facets of 10s, but as long as it's 10, it's great. But if you got an 8, how many of these fucking guys on Instagram they're teaching you sales and like, you closed a 7, bro. What the fuck, man? I ain't buying shit from you. You fucking close a fucking 10 or something, bro. She's not even a 10 in her brain. What the fuck's wrong with you? So I'm big on kind of quality of fucking life, and everything I do has got to be a 10 for 10 on every level of success. So I want the dopest car. I want the dopest girl. I want the dopest family. I want the dopest office. I want the dopest yacht. I want the dopest watch. I want the dopest dogs, but I want handicapped fucking dogs. But I want to like also make the world a better fucking place.
Yeah.
I want to be a 10 on morality. I want to be
Yeah.
a 10 on giving. I want to be a 10 for what I provide for the people around me. I want them to do well. I want them to dress well. I want them to eat well. So I want my giving to be on a 10 either.
Yeah.
So when people say like, oh, it's not about the car. No, it is about the fucking cars. Because if I have a nice car, what kind of fucking car do you drive, right? If I've got a fucking dope ass car, that I can't have. If your boss has a fucking Tesla, you're fucked, right? You're fucked. Are you gonna drive a nicer car than your boss? You can't. So that's gonna fucking suck if your boss drives a Tesla. That's why you don't really want to fucking work for anyone, because like when you look at your boss, what's the best car he's driving? Like it's very rarely to see your boss in an S500, which is still kind of like not that great of a car when you're really actually making money. I always say the only reason you have a Mercedes 300 is because you can't afford the 400, and you have the 400 because you can't get the 500, and you get the 500 because you can't get the 600. And then when you want to get a Maybach, the guy who says a 600 goes, it's still a Mercedes anyway. No, it's a fucking Maybach, motherfucker. You just don't want to pay another 150 grand above the S-Class 600. So that's really really what it is. So a high tide raises all ships, and the better quality of life that I get in every fucking aspect through fucking finances, morality, family, friendship, it all spreads to everyone else as well. So that high quality of life means like Mike's gonna drive a fucking 6-figure vehicle, right? Why? Because I bought him one. Simple. It's why everyone here. I bought 12 cars for the people here. They're all 6-figure fucking cars. You know, I'm buying a car for my business partner later today for his birthday. He doesn't fucking know, but we're not going to tell him right now. But after this podcast, I'm doing a birthday lunch with him, and then I'm going to buy him a car, and then I'm going to give him that car later. And I bought him a car a couple years ago. He just fucking sold it. I bought him a house. Like, think about that. The higher I get, I'm able to do things like that for my best fucking friend.
And you're enjoying life, and that's clear, and the people around you that work with you enjoy life, but at the same time, the standards you set for yourself in business and philanthropy and in everything else are clearly so high. And I was going to ask you, like, and I don't mean this disrespectfully at all, but like your personality seems to bleed into, in a good way, into like the way that you run business. I mean, in this very building, with the kick-ass dog art, with like the backdrop that we're sitting behind now. And so, but I'm wondering, like the personality stuff, like the way that you lead your business, like the dynamic way that you lead your business. I know just from you doing some research on you that there's also been like, ups and downs, that you've had like, some legal disputes with like the pizza shop guy and the other stuff. And the reason I bring that up, and like the incident earlier this year with the dock worker, the reason I bring that up is like you have all this personality, and at the same time, obviously some people it comes off the wrong way. So
100%.
how do you sort of like settle, like the past is what it is, but how do you sort of settle that and move forward? Obviously these hiccups happen, but how do you sort of move forward in confidence and continue to lead?
Oh, because I really don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me. Once you're at my place in life, you're a made man, and really no one can tell you fucking what to do. Basically, I just can't rob a fucking bank or kidnap a baby. Other than that, I can do what the fuck I want. So I'm not planning on robbing any banks, and I fucking love babies, so I don't know why I'd steal one, and I got one. So really not into that. So I can do what the fuck I want. When you're in a town like San Diego, it's just things are going to happen, and I'm a different fucking breed. You don't meet a lot of people like me in San Diego. You meet a lot of the same dude in San Diego, and your basic guy with a fucking t-shirt and a fucking gut who owns a pizza shop with fucking shorts he shouldn't be wearing and flip-flops isn't going to like when you're parking like a bunch of different brand new cars every week in front of his pizza shop, because my dog's not going to walk farther than he has to. So I get in a lot of these little fucking disputes just for fucking no reason. So the dock worker, for example, okay, Jason had just fucking got done with the conference at the San Diego Convention Center, and I'm like, promised him to ride on the yacht. So he's leaving the conference, perfect timing. I'm like, hey, go right behind you. He goes to the Marriott, and I'm right there. I'm just going to pick him up, and he's going to get on the yacht, and we're going to take him for a ride. These fucking dudes at that fucking whatever Seaforth boat rental, some dude, he's a fucking nobody. He's a fucking teenager, maybe 20 or 21 years old. He's like, whoa, you can't park here. I'm like, it's a 63-foot yacht. There's 18 feet. We wouldn't be able to park it, for one. And I have a Lamborghini yacht. So you should approach me with some respect, because I'm the fucking man and you're fucking not. And that's just the way it is. There's levels in life. Know who I am. Know I'm somebody. Know that you might likely be nobody. And I'm not saying you're nobody, but you got to be somebody. I can prove that I'm somebody in fucking 15 seconds by how much I gave away this year to other fucking people and other charities. Can you? No. Okay, then shut the fuck up. right? Okay, so I've given more than you. So where do you want to go on this? If I've given 8 figures away this year to other people, other charities, animals, and I have a handicapped fucking dog and 6 of them, what are you doing with your fucking life? What are you going to tell me about? Like, okay, oh yeah, shut the fuck up. So you can see the yacht, but you have to see the rest of it too. People see what they want to see. Sure. So he's like, no, I mean, no, we're just picking up somebody. He goes, no, we don't allow that here either. Okay, bro, you're the fucking motherfucker in a fucking convenience store fucking IDing a 50-year-old for cigarettes. Oh, I got to fucking ID him, bro. I don't want to lose my job. He could be an undercover. Motherfucker, give this motherfucker his fucking cigarettes. You're wasting everyone's fucking time over your piece of shit, nobody fucking loser fucking minimum wage job like dock worker Joe was. So at that point, we're like, all my dude's got to do is step on the yacht and we go away. That's all. You just allow someone to do that out of just common fucking courtesy, right? Sure. Just common courtesy. But no, he's like, so then he tries to body my guy. And my salesperson is a former NHL player. So he's like, you're not going to body him. You're not gonna, I'm like laughing. You're not going to stop him from getting on this yacht. Yeah. It's going to take 3 seconds. Captain Mitch goes back. He jumps on the yacht. And when he's tried to body him, like, these are my fucking workers, man. That my sales dude could beat the shit out of me. He's an NHL player, right? But now I'm the fucking leader, all right? I might not be as big as him, but I'm going to protect him like I'm his fucking, like his big brother. Once he tried even a little bit physical with my guy, it's all bets are on. Sure. All bets are off now. Now you're getting that ace, the ace you don't fucking like. I don't even like that fucking guy. That motherfucker will fucking ruin you. And then you got your fucking little pussy hurt, the dock worker. Fucking, man, they make fucking tampons for that motherfucker. Why don't you use that shit? You gotta be a little bitch. Jesus fucking Christ. I do not fucking like that guy. I fucking don't like him because that's the kind of bullshit I get into. You can't just let my boy get on and then you try to body him. You try to touch someone I fucking care about. You're gonna get fucking yelled at. And yeah, and I might threaten you. Because you touch someone I care about. You try to touch someone I care about. What would you do if someone tried to touch someone you care about? All fucking bets are off, motherfucker. You didn't tell that side of the story to CBS, did you, little bitch? And you're poor. Go fuck yourself. You're a loser. And I got you fired. Ha ha.
Now, to my knowledge,
my dick too.
Sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say, to my knowledge, the incident seems to be kind of over. I haven't heard anything more about it in the news, but just kind of moving forward from that, and I believe there was like a statement issued by your side, and I think it's like pretty much over with. But just moving on from that, I mean, like, just with
they made me do that. That's the way I feel. They made me fucking, not made me. I called my PR team and they didn't tell you to apologize. Fuck you. I don't apologize to you. I hope all bad things happen to you, dock worker. Everything. All of them. I hope they happen to you. Because it was bullshit. You fucking painted me in a bad light. When you fucking know you started it, motherfucker. I'm Captain Faffo, right? Fuck around, find out. You fucked around and you found out, bitch. Yeah, no one's sorry. And then he sent a little fucking paper that he's going to try to sue us. It's called legal extortion because I have money. You're going to try to sue me because your pussy got hurt. Great. We'll write you a check or something. Go, come get it, bitch. I got insurance. Don't really care. Everyone always tries to sue rich people. They always fucking do because they're poor. And they fucking hate that I'm brown and rich and you're white and poor. You don't like that? It's not a racist thing. But, well, I'm just going by what color they are. I don't see any black people suing me. I just don't. Right? I don't see any Koreans or Mexican people suing me. I see white people that are poor. I'd fucking hate me too, because I got my white girlfriend's hotter than yours. No wonder you're fucking mad. Gotcha. Every part of my life is better than yours. People don't like to talk about that shit. You know, simple as this. My life is better than yours. Trump card. You can make more money than me. That guy's going to be fucking lame. He's not going to be as much fun as me. He's not going to crash a Lamborghini yacht into a dock and laugh and go, ha, that's fucking funny. We don't fucking care. We'll buy another one. Great. You know, so it's a lot different around here being me, but it's a crazy personality. I don't shy away from who the fuck I am. You're not going to cancel me. I'm not going to do anything that fucking stupid or crazy, but it can rub people the wrong way, and then that other side that just came out comes out real fucking quick because I'm not going to take shit from anybody. That's the thing. I'm not going to take shit from anybody. You shouldn't take shit from nobody. And once you get to a certain level of life, well, you can't fire me. You can get fired, so you can't be the person you want to be. I'm exactly who I want to be in life. And it's way more fun, and, geez, I don't know. Sure. It's just way better. Everyone's so fucking normal. I fucking can't stand it.
Well, you don't shy away from who you are, but I think there's also another side of you as we close, just one or two more questions. Mm-hmm. Like, I was going to say, like, I really think that there's another side of you that I don't want to miss, which is that you also, as you talked about, you give a lot to charity. You also, I was talking to to my friend Div before, just about like some of the things that you've been doing lately with the business ventures. You know, we talked about Aspens already, but recently, if I'm not mistaken, you actually decided to, is it true, go sober for a few months, and you actually were focusing more on focusing more on sort of the philanthropy, the family stuff. And I'm just curious, like, what sort of, like, with all that you've accomplished and all the intangible and tangible goals that you have for yourself, like, what would some of these like more recent priority shifts that maybe you've made or think about making, like what would some of those like reflect in terms of how you want your legacy to be perceived and like what else you want to accomplish?
No, legacy's a long time from now. I don't really give a fuck how anyone perceives me, but you know, I only care about what my daughter thinks about me, and that's the only opinion that's gonna fucking matter to me. Everyone else go fuck themselves. So legacy is just I want my family to be very well taken care of and do the most I can to set up animals for the future, and like that would, if that's what I would say I want my legacy to be. But you know, people don't really see that side a lot of the time because of my personality. I really show them all the flash. I show them all the flash. I don't show any grind. I might start showing a little bit of how I do it because people would really want to learn how I make it look so easy. So there's a science behind that.
Yeah.
So, you know, the future, you know, it's my legacy. That's what I'd want that seen as. I recently have gone sober. I was drinking fucking pretty hardcore for, you know, a few years there, and I was Class A Azul's #1 customer too. So that ended really quick,
Sure.
Unfortunately for them, but I think they'll be just fine. But you know, Class A Azul is my drink. I was drinking it all the time, and then just one day I just, you know, I was going on a downward spiral over like I'd say 6 months where, you know, I was getting robbed in Vegas, and I was, you know, getting into fucking accidents and shit, and a lot of bad things were fucking happening, and I've really I put the fucking cause as fucking the alcohol, and it was affecting every fucking part of my fucking life, every fucking relationship I was having. I was always, every time I'd go out, like my buddies would look at me like, I wonder if we're getting kicked out tonight, because you never fucking know. So I saw it was just going in a bad fucking way. And men only go out 4 ways, okay? Always remember that. Men only go out 4 ways: money, drugs, women, and alcohol. That's it. So only 4 ways guys go out. And I saw the alcohol one. Since I knew that, you know, I'm already good on money. I got a girl, and I don't fucking really do drugs. I'm California sober, by the way, obviously. So, you know, stop drinking. It's been fucking great. Doing a lot better, fucking focused. But now I'm one of those motherfuckers like drinking's for fucking losers. So I don't fucking really recommend it. But, you know, if people can drink every now and then, that's up to them. And I don't, you know, I don't fucking care one way or another. I just know for me that, you know, I'm pretty much done with alcohol, and I don't really care for it anymore. And like, I'm just operating on a very fucking high level. I'm a fucking beast, but it was causing a lot of my fucking problems over the last 6 to 9 months. And I had to fucking just admit the tequila is fucking me over. Like when I was yelling at the fucking dock worker, I was fucking drunk. But the best part about it, he fucking deserved it. I'm not drunk now, and I'm saying the same shit, but I'm not threatening to kill you. That's what I'm not. And if I was threatening to kill you, I would say, I'm going to kill you with kindness. That would have been the way to fucking get through that one. So that now I realized I can start threatening to kill people again, but I just end it with kindness. And that way, you know, as long as I had that video clip, I would have not been in trouble in that one. And I didn't get in trouble. The fucking Harbor Police investigated me, and so did fucking San Diego, blah, 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 blah. And they didn't even ticket me. And even if they did, it'd be a misdemeanor. So the only thing that got hurt in that situation was that guy's pussy.
So last question is that we've talked a little bit about like the legacy stuff already, but my question is, like, you just talked about like the discipline of going sober and how that's like affecting relationships, how that's affecting work productivity, and just a further evidence of the standards that you set for yourself. But my question is this, basically, like for the future, are there specific maybe projects, like it could be philanthropic, it could be entrepreneurial, it could be personal, it could be like, I want to work on this relationship. Is there anything that you maybe haven't shared with us that you have planned for the future that you really want to work on now that you've conquered some of these other dragons?
The most important thing is my daughter and my fiance. They're my #1 fucking priority. If it's not about health, wealth, or fucking, if it's not about health, wealth, or my family, I don't want to fucking talk about it, right? I look at any sort of text I get. It's not about my health. It's not about my wealth, which is my businesses. And it's not about my family. I fucking don't respond back to it. I remove it from my life right away. So I've categorized it in all communication now that, okay, wait, this guy's helping my business, cool. This guy's helping my health, boom. Oh, this is about my family, boom. If it's not in that category, don't reply back to the person in your life. Simple as that. That's what I look at. And everyone here can see that, right? Because this is, like, everyone here is for one of those 3 reasons. Simple as that. So that's why I ain't doing those bullshit relationships that everyone else does. So my priority is my family. The next is definitely like my health. I want to get in fucking remarkable shape. And then the wealth, and then the fucking wealth, which is the businesses. Doctor Multimedia, I want to take it to levels it's never seen. I own Jet Digital, another digital marketing company. I plan to, that shit's doing very well. I want to make that do better and better. Aspens Dogghouse is huge. I want to conquer the online space, and I want to get us as high as we can. I own another company called Local Clicks, which is a pay-per-click advertising company. I want that one to do very well. And I just started Legal Multimedia. I'm looking to get 10,000 fucking lawyers in the same way I got 10,000 fucking $15,000 doctors, because that's a huge field, and I want to start marketing for fucking lawyers. Next, beyond that, I want to coach these doctors into gaining more money out of these practices, and then in time, I'm going to start fucking probably coaching entrepreneurs and showing how I do it, because I see a lot of the stuff on Instagram, and some of it's real, but most of it's fake, and everyone's got a different fucking, you can't get rich quick. Oh, there's no such thing. You can't. Fucking flip a house. Like, do you know how fucking long that shit takes? I started getting in that shit. It takes fucking forever. And then those guys have Teslas. It's like, what the fuck, bro? I ain't fucking going through fucking 9 months of work to get a fucking Tesla. I wouldn't piss on myself to get a fucking Tesla. So why would I fucking do 9 months of work? What the fuck is wrong with people? What I do like is making money very fast. So it might take a little more time in the beginning, like a lot of ways to make money, but then once it starts coming in, if you're going to spend a year or 3 on doing something and knowing you're going to make some fast money after the end of the 3 years, you'd sign up for that, and then the money's coming in the same time, and there's other ways to make quick money, kind of like gambling or one-time fucking flips that you can do, and that aren't as labor intensive as fucking crypto or flipping houses or they have more control than fucking crypto or fucking day trading, right? So I want control. I want to know I'm making money. I don't want to let my money sit. I want to make it fast. So I have a lot of philosophies, and I don't want to say I'm going to make it look easy, because it wasn't easy in the beginning, but also what we're doing, like, I'm not fucking getting my hands dirty. Like, I'm not doing that. Manual labor's for suckers. I've never done anything with my hands except go like this or point to something I need you to get for me, because I'm not going to walk over and get that. I don't have time for that shit. That kind of stuff, but I don't really work with my hands.
But just to wrap up, if anybody wants to follow Ace and his adventures and the different companies, I think it's best to check out your Instagram, right? Ace, is it Ace Rogers CEO?
Ace Rogers CEO.
Okay, awesome. And Doctor Multimedia, Jet Digital. Sorry we didn't get to all the busibusinesses. There's so many.
They're all about the same thing.
We'll do more podcasts, hopefully, where we get some more of this hashed out. But thanks so much, Ace, for coming on. Really appreciate it. I know you're a busy, man. We love your time. And thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Steve.
Awesome.
You're
Thanks,
the best.
guys. That's a wrap. This has been another recorded episode of Stay Classy Podcast with your host, Steve Wire. Thanks so much for tuning in. And as always, you can find all of our content at our website at stayclassypod.com. And thanks to our production sponsor and partner, MaxLux Media. You can find them at maxluxmedia.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Every subscription helps and goes a long way towards ensuring that we can continue to produce content for viewers like yourself. Thanks so much. Stay classy.